welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It is Challenger Scorpion game, and Jensen Regan returns here with his Imperial Guard to take on the Orks. It is a grudge match. Orks had the victory last time, but we'll see if the Imperial Guard can have their revenge. So fighting across this lush terrain here, the desert has become more green, even some palm trees being seen now on this area of the planet, and it'll be here that the Orks will do battle with the Imperial Guard. Alright, so 1850 points here, Orks versus Imperial Guard. I'm going to run the Orks here. They're on a good run at the moment, taking out a number of opponents that had victory in the last game. And if they continue to do well, then they're going to move up in the table. So quite an important game for the Orks here. It is their opportunity to push their way up in the league table here on the channel. So Ork list unchanged from last time. Gutrippa leads the force. He has been patched together after being blown apart by a Manticore rocket. He's back here, pretty much all in one piece. So he leads the force there. Standard force organisation here for the Orks. And the second HQ is Master Level 2 Weirdboy. Then 3 troops. They're all Ork boys, 10 of them in heavy armour. And then 2 of the squads have knobs with power claws. That's these 2 here. And then 1 here with a big chopper. They've all got boss poles. And they're all riding inside Ork trucks with reinforced rams and then rockets as well. One rocket on each of those Ork trucks. Then fast attack here for the Orks, 7 Warbikers, and Zog is leading them here. He's just a regular Ork Nob. He has been upgraded to take a power claw. Then the Gorkanaut, heavy support choice. Then an Ork battle wagon with customised rockets. There's 4 rockets, and then reinforced ram for that. Inside that transport is 4 Mega Nobs. Killsaw Kyle is there with his 2 Killsaws, and then there's a Boss Nob in there with the Boss Pole upgrade for him. Then Elite's choice is here, 2 units of 8 Tank Busters. There's a Nob in each of those units, and then I've taken 3 Bomb Squigs for each of those units as well. And they're being carried inside looted wagons here with the Kill Cannon upgrade, and they've got reinforced rams as well, but those are 2 heavy support choices. Just nice, cheap transport vehicles with a bit of heavy firepower as well. So that's the Ork list. Numerous in number, they're fully mechanised as well, and seeking to take the fight to the Imperial Guard. We'll see what Jensen's got now for his list. It has changed from last time. He's learnt from the past here and has brought along a new list.
Okay, this is my 1850 points Imperial Guard list. Primary detachment is a combined armed detachment with Pask and a Punisher and an Executioner alongside him. They both have camo nets and fire barrels, and they don't have any sponsons, and it's heavy flamers on the front. Then there's a platoon command squad with 3 melta-guns and a Vox. They also have a Chimera with 2 heavy flamers. Then there's 2 priests, and then we have the first troop choice is the platoon with 1 troop with a Vox and another troop. Then we have the veterans, which is a Steel Legion with their forward sentries with 2 grenade launchers, a heavy flamer and a Vox. And then they've got conscripts as well. Then the heavy choices is a Lehman Russ Demolisher and 2 Eradicators. There's no sponsons, and they all have heavy flamers on the front. Then I have a formation, which is the Emperor's Wrath Artillery Company, with a command squad with Master of the Ordinance and Astropath. The commander has Wrath of Cadia pistol, and there's a heavy flamer in the squad. They also have a Chimera with 2 heavy flamers. And then I have a Basilisk, a Wyvern, and a Manticore, and they all have heavy flamers on the front. And also a Tech Priest.
Alright, so that's Jensen's list there. Quite a few changes here. It'll be interesting to take this one on. Good to see some appearances here with a Basilisk being used, and the Wyvern as well. A debut for that on the channel. Not seen one being used before, so it'll be fascinating here to see how well this force gets on with the Orks. So, Imperial Guard have chosen out the appropriate weaponry here to take on the Orks. There's a lot of heavy flamers in this army. Yes, so we'll kill them anyway, say the Orks. We're going to pile in regardless of being cooked alive. So we'll go on to scenario and deployment next. Alright, so scenario here. Interesting setup we've got for this game. It is Crusade. There's 4 objectives on the table. Those were placed before we established deployment zones. There's one just here. There's one pretty much in the centre. There's one just in the gap between the rocks just there, and there's also one in the crater. So a lot of objectives in the no man's land. There were 3 points each. And then for deployment, it is Dawn of War, and the Imperial Guard will be setting up here. Jensen's Imperial Guard will be setting up 12 inches in, just marked by that line of purple dice. And then over the other side, opposing them, will be Gutrippa's Orks just over there. So expect both armies to... Well, the Imperial Guard will blast away at the Orks, and the Orks will try and take the fight to the Imperial Guard. But towards the end of the game, victory will be secured by whoever controls the most objectives. So that'll be the crucial point in this game. And it's a switch round from last time. The roles went with the Orks as far as choosing deployment zones and going first. This time, Jensen's Guard will be going first unless Gutrippa seizes the initiative. So we've gone to deployment next. Right, just to mention the battle mat that we're going to use in this game, it's by gamemat.eu. They produce battle mats in different sizes. This one's 6x4. It's called Meadows of War. Nice backdrop here to put your terrain on top. So you've got the terrain here, then just add some stones and some scatter and some lichen just to blend it all in. Nice foundation, nice and flat it comes out, and then figure friendly, nice and soft, and then for dice rolls, nice and quiet as well. So you can check them out. It's gamemat.eu. That's the mat that we're using in this game. Right, so deployment here. A lot of thinking's gone into this one. So Jensen deploying first of his Imperial Guard. It's an ideal deployment here. It's a nice long spread of units all the way across the table. So the firepower arrayed here, getting ready for the Ork attack. Conscripts here. Priest is with them. Leman Russ Eradicator holds the left flank. And then Manticore at the back here, Basilisk just there, Wyvern, all the ordnance setting up along the back line, and then the 2 Chimeras here with their command teams inside, Tech Priest just at the back. Leman Russ is this is a squadron here, isn't it? Pask and his teammate just there. The regular guardsmen there, the Valhallans, they're taking up position just in front. Looks like a meat shield screen here to shield these tanks. And then over here, another Leman Russ Eradicator just there, and the Demolisher tank just there. So I think Jensen knows the value of his vehicles in this game. They're the ones that can dish out the heavy firepower. If he can preserve those towards the end of the game, then stands every chance of victory here. We'll go around to the other side, see how the Orks have deployed. Okay, then for Orks here, we've tried to sort of blindside the Imperial Guard as best as we can, so we've sort of heaped up on one side. So we've gone onto the right-hand flank. Tank Busters, both of those units here. Unit of Ork Boys here, just the regular big chopper, but the Weirdboy's joined them. His powers are Warpath and the jump, so +1 attack for his unit on the charge, and then also the jump, which means they can deep strike, and they need to get outside the vehicle, but that unit would be able to deep strike just there. Then Gutrippa's joined the Mega Nobs inside the battle wagon. Bikers taking up position along the back here. A lot of AP4, a lot of ignores cover kind of firepower the Guard have in this game. So we're going to try and preserve them as best as we can, keep them out of range. Then coming across, the 2 units of Ork Boys sheltering behind this large rocky outcrop here, masked from a lot of the Imperial firepower for now, at least, and they have just deployed there. That's the 2 units with power claws. And then anchoring the left-hand side is the Gorkanaut, the slower part, perhaps the hinge of the Ork door that may swing around, we'll have to see, but he's going to anchor the bottom of the table here. He's going to expect a lot of incoming firepower, a lot of Imperial Guard tanks just across the way there. So that's the view for the Imperial Guard as they look out across the table. Orks over there on their left-hand side. And then, just to mention, Astropath is inside here, Dominate, and Psychic Shriek is his psychic powers. So Orks are going to go second here unless they seize the initiative. Jensen hoping his Imperial Guard can go first. There is no night fighting. It is midday here, high noon perhaps, as the Orks prepare to move out. So Orks getting ready to select first gear. Imperial Guard will go first unless we seize initiative. Perhaps we'll roll up now. Gutrippa's no good at seizing initiative, but there's always A first. A 5. Thankfully, our Warlord trait gives us +1 on siege initiative, so we'll go first. No, that's a joke. So we'll go on to the first turn. Imperial Guard will go first. They lock and load, preparing to fire at the Orks before the Orks even have a chance to begin their advance. So on to turn 1, coming up next for the Imperial Guard. Alright, so movement for the Imperial Guard here. Just a general advance from the infantry units. It's a screen that pretty much runs from one end of the table to the other. So the Orks are going to have to get through that meat shield here to break through to the more vulnerable vehicles at the back. So advancing here with the conscripts, priest leading them, and then moving up here with the eradicator Lim Russ, holding at the back here as predicted really with the heavier ordnance here of the Imperial artillery, holding back here with the command Chimera. Pask advancing along with the infantry, so it's a steady trundling along, advancing ahead through the bush and scrub and rough terrain here with the vehicles and infantry, and then just shifting across here with the tanks repositioning to try and get into range of the Ork advance just over on the Imperial left hand flank. So steady advance across the line, nice and calmly advancing across the battlefield here as they take the fight to the Orks. We're going to Psychic Phase next. Jensen does have the Astropaths. There will be a Psychic Phase for both sides as long as the Psychers stay alive. So Psychic Phase next for the Imperial Guard on turn 1. Okay, so that's Psychic Phase done. Everything's out of range here for the Astropath. No powers that he can use this turn. So on to shooting next for the Imperial Guard on turn 1. Right, so shooting here for the Imperial Guard. We've done all the shooting here. Just going to recap what's taken place. It has been pretty impressive here. So Jensen's happy. Good round here for the Imperial Guard. Unit of the game perhaps already. Manticore firing through here, hitting the Ork truck that was just here, destroying that. and then clipping. It's 3 rounds that came through. 2 hull points on here, weapon destroyed and mobilised on this looted wagon. This one destroyed, blown up, and then the tank busters getting out, and then they were picked on by the Wyvern there with its ignores cover. Loads of hits, shred, AP6, so they have been blown to pieces as well. So hammer blow here to the Orks on their right hand side, which is a shame. Then battle wagon here, just taking 1 hull point, snapshots only. That survived. That took hits in the side from the Russ here, the partner for Pask, firing across. Jensen passing an order there that allowed the squadron to fire at different targets. Then Pask firing through here, causing, it was a penetrating hit, hull point caused a result of a 1, so snapshots only as well on the Gorkanaut. Next turn, Basilisk firing through here. Just saw the long range artillery here having a field day with the Orks, getting a good hit here with an ignores cover order that came through, yes, being used to target this one taking hull point, a result of a 2, so snapshots only, and then penetrating hit, hull point caused with an immobilised result just there. So Orks pinned back here before they've even had a chance to move, and then that giving confidence to the Imperial Guard. The infantry squads have begun advancing here, this unit onto the objective in the middle already. So that marks the end of the turn. No assaults, but a significant turn here. It's gone very, very well for the Imperial Guard. Can the Orks recover? We'll have to see. It's a real challenge for Gutrippa as we go into the Orks' first turn. Okay, so moving for the Orks here, just going to push ahead as best as we can. So general advance, those units that are able to move. So immobilised here with this looted wagon, a weapon destroyed as well, so it's pretty much useless just sitting there on 1 hull point. So the tank busters have got out 6 and are in range to fire up in this direction. Squigs already beginning to move ahead. And then here, the unit of Ork boys with the Weirdboy, they've started their advance. They're old 6, moving through difficult terrain. Bikers have found a gap here through the difficult terrain and have moved up 12, Zog leading them through. And then 12 inches moved here with the battle wagon, that's got Gutrippa, and the Mega Nobs inside, heading straight towards Pask by the looks of it. Don't blame him either. Spreading out here, a bit stuck with this transport. It is mobilised. We can't sit there, we have to advance. We've disembarked and sort of gone into a spread out pattern here with this unit of Ork boys. This one's turned and moved 6, disembarked 6 inches of this unit of Ork boys getting ready to charge. So we checked the rules. We reckon we can charge on turn 1, and we haven't infiltrated or arrived from reserve, so it looks like these Ork boys should be able to get a charge off when they charge ahead just there. Hopefully, we'll see. Double 1 rolled here with the Gorkanauts just shifted along and turned an inch with him. So Orks advancing as best as they can, but their attack has been disrupted here already on turn 1. So they've got to try and claw their way back. Taking a lot of damage. First blood conceded here. Jensen destroying a number of transports. Orks looking shaky here, but Gutrippa's still in control, still alive. And we'll see if he can orchestrate this attack as we go on to the psychic phase next for the Orks on turn 1. Alright, so psychic phase done here. Tricky one for the Orks. We used Frazzle first of all, it went off. Scatter, but we did take out one of the guardsmen there, so one of them brought down. That was fire across range 24 across to there. Then the jump did go off on 2, but Jensen rolled 2 6s there on 3 dice and blocked that. We were trying to land just where that orange dice is, just to push this unit up, cover some ground quickly, but we've failed. So the Orks, or this Ork unit here with the Weirdboy, are stuck back here. So that's psychic phase done. A bit disappointing there for the Orks. We'll push on. We'll go on to the shooting phase next. Alright, so shooting phase for the Orks here. Tank busters, this is their chance. I'm going to try and take out this Lehman Russ here. It's a tough one. Armour 14, our weaponry strength 8. But tank hunters do get rerolls. So, going to loose the squigs here. They are just within range. They're running up there. 2s to hit with them. They all hit. So well done, well trained. And then 5s with other rockets. 2 more hits coming through. So 5 hits. It's doable. We need 6s. And then tank hunter we do get rerolls, so 6s for glances, there's 1, and then we'll reroll here. There's another, and it looks like a cock dice balancing on a stone. We'll reroll that one, Cock dice. It was a 6. Another one. Oh no! Right. Okay. Someone passed me a tray. 3. No, failed. Okay. So 2 hull points coming through. We're going to say cover save there for the rocks and for the guardsman obscuring. So 5s and 6s it will be to block.
Nope.
No. Okay. So 2 hull points coming through. It's good damage, but the tank is not taken out, which is quite critical here. Okay, so rest of the shooting here for the Orks. We've seen the 2 hull points dished out there on the Lehman Russ. Couldn't damage it with anything else, so it has survived. Bikers pushing through, turbo boosting 12 inches from them. Just 2 inches ran here with this unit of boys. Then 12 inches moved up, and then just turned slightly with the battle wagon. One of the guardsmen picked off there. It was a direct hit from a rocket from the immobilised truck. Just there, then coming across, didn't fire the pistols here with the Ork boys, just trying to, don't want to take out any of the guardsmen here, trying to keep a good range for charges. Gorkanaut firing through, not too bad from him, bringing down a number of the guardsmen from this squad, and then they broke morale and have ran 10 inches back towards the back line of the Imperial Guard deployment zone just there. Fired a rocket here and missed, trying to hit the side armour of the Lehman Russ just over there. So that is shooting phase done for the Orks. On to charges. There is 1 charge. This unit of Ork boys, we'll see if they can make it in against this guard squad. It is a combined squad just here, so it's going to be a heap of Overwatch. See if the Orks can survive, and then we'll see if they can make it in. They do fancy the fight here. We'll see if they can make it. Right, so charges here. The Ork boys have made it in. 2 of their number lost from Overwatch. So it's a fair number of attacks lost there, but 8 of them have made it in there. The Ork Nob has issued a challenge, and it's been accepted by one of the regular sergeants there. So we'll get this combat resolved here. Orks have made contact. Guard will get to fight first here with their initiative. Alright, so we're just figuring out combats here. It's pretty good for the guard. With that priest there, zealots, that units, they will reroll to hit, and then rerolling to wound. Jensen passing with his battle hymns test there is going to get reroll wounds, so Orks could be in trouble. Jensen will go first, initiative step 3. So challenge first of all. Sergeant's going to fight here against the Ork Nob. Ork Nob's armed with a power claw, but Jensen will get to go first. 2 hits, and he gets his rerolls to wound here at needing 5s. So yeah, 1, and then you can reroll that one. Is just a reroll. 6. Okay, so 2 wounds. We need to pass these, otherwise the Ork Nob's going to be brought down. How humiliating! Almost 1 wound taken. 1 save failed. So can't complete that challenge yet. The guardsmen now, initiative step 3. They're going to get to fight. All right, so rolling to hit here. Jensen will get to reroll, and he misses. Found a nice flat part of the table here. Roll up. 4s for hits. Fair few have missed actually, so that reroll will be helpful. 5 hits. And then just rerolling here, needing 4s. Right, so this is the important part. It's trying to wound. It's 5s and 6s, but reroll is going to come in very helpful indeed. Should get a fair few wounds coming through. Every Ork boy that's brought down is crucial here. Yeah, that's not bad. There's 5. The Ork boys could be in trouble. 5s again. There's 3 more. It's excellent rolling. Yes, 8 wounds here. That's not good. Need a nice lot of saves. We do not get a nice lot of saves. 6 Ork boys brought down. That's bad news there for the Orks. Alright, so 1 Ork boy left. We'll do him because he would be the next initiative step. So 4 attacks for him on the charge. 3s for hits. Nice. Not good. Yeah. We've rattled the Orks. A wound has come through though. Jensen will get a save just on a regular guardsman. Okay, and then the Ork Nob on the charge actually gets 4 attacks in this challenge. Hits 3 times, and then 2s for wounds. 2 wounds, so yeah, power claw there. So yeah, sergeant and a guardsman. All right, so Orks lose that combat. Their numbers brought down there. That's disheartening there for the Orks who would have fancied them there, but Imperial Guard joining together. And then zealot priests here, helping them to fight back against the greenskins. Or roll up. Morale test for the Orks. So 10 rolled here for morale. That's a fail. Might be within 12 of the RIPPA, actually. Yeah, it's just checked. Just out of range there from Gutrippa's transports. We do not get the reroll. So roll on our chart here to see what happens. A 6. So 6 isn't good. We'll try and get a reroll. A 5 is still not good, could be trouble. Yeah, 5's not good, we run, so because we've got less than 10 models, so the Orks are on the run here. We'll roll up initiative. a 4, Jensen can catch us. He does on a 5. It is a wipeout. Greenskins have made impact and then bounced off the guardsman. They've been given the bayonet and have been routed and then hunted down and destroyed. We'll let Jensen consolidate here. That's not a good sign, though, for the Orks. And Jensen just rolling a 6. So this unit of guardsmen have been stirred up here by the fanatical priest, and they've done very well indeed. But that marks the end of combat. We'll let Jensen complete his consolidation move there. But it ends with a unit of Ork boys being destroyed by a combined unit of guardsmen. So we'll go on to the second turn now for the Imperial Guard. Ork units have advanced. We'll see if Jensen can deal with those. There's bikers here, potential to cause trouble with them. Gutrippa's transport surging ahead. That'll be the focal point, perhaps, for the Imperial Guard firepower. And then looking across, not much else advancing here for the Orks. So on to Imperial Guard turn 2, coming up next. Right, so Imperial Guard turn 2 here. Jensen's still thinking about his move. So 2 focal points really, areas of trouble potentially for the Guard. It's these bikers here pushing ahead, and then Gutrippa and his transports. Those 2 units that could cause the most trouble for the Imperial Guard. So expect the focus of the guardsman's attention to be on those. If they're dealt with, then truly the Ork attack will be blunted. But we'll see. They are tough units to try and get rid of. And over here, Ork attack has been broken up to some degree, but Gorkanaut's still alive. It's a tough nut to crack, that one. Not much of the Imperial firepower over here can break into that armour 13, and there is 5 hull points to get through as well. Yeah, so just saying, if the Guard do well here, then they'll be in control of the game. If the Orks do manage to survive this round, in pretty good condition, then they stand a chance of trying to equal the balance in the game. But it is slipping away from them at the moment, and Imperial Guard do have a chance here to make an even greater impact on the game here. We'll see. We'll let Jensen move, see what he decides to do as he tries to deal with Gutrippa and his lads. Alright, so movement for the Guard here, just holding the line with this unit of conscripts, shielding the tanks. I can see the strategy being used here, and then holding the line with the artillery, pivoting some vehicles, getting ready to fire at Gutrippa's transport, and then moving out and sitting on top of the objective just there with this confident unit now. It's just saying to the next unit of Orks, you know, charge me if you want, we can deal with them. So confident move there from that unit of Guard, and then just pivoting with these tanks, getting ready to fire up in this direction. We'll see if that frontal armour can hold on that Ork battle wagon. Rallied here with the unit of guardsmen that ran away. They've consolidated 3 inches as well. So movement phase done. Gone to psychic phase next for the Imperial Guard on their turn 2. Right, so psychic phase done. Scary moment there. Jensen cast successfully dominate here on the bikes. Would have caused them to make leadership tests for everything they attempted to do next turn. We blocked it on a 6 though, rolling 3 dice. So thankfully for the Orks, that power hasn't gone off. So psychic phase done. On to shooting phase next for the Imperial Guard. Expect some fireworks. Alright, so shooting phase here. Master of Ordnance firing down. Shot was meant to land here. Scattered, but was taken out one of the Ork boys. And passed a jink save there with that biker. Now we're going to go over here. Pask is going to try and hose down this battle wagon. This is crucial here to see how well he does. He's able to do it with his rending ability. So we'll let Jensen roll up here. Gets a few shots. He does get a lot. Rerolling ones. BS5, is he?
BS4.
BS4. Oh, 2's a misses. Okay, and then the ones can be rerolled.
That's all grudges.
Okay. So nice lot of hits. So I take it you need 6s then?
Yep.
Okay. So this is it. The amount of 6s here will be crucial. There's 3 hull points to try and get through. There's 1. And the crucial reroll here. There's another 2. So I think there's much we can do about that. That will reduce down the battle wagon. Alright, so what we're saying here then, Jensen, because armour 14 now at the front, Jensen need 5s and 6s on these dice for the shots to actually go through. So just the 1, okay. Right, so 1 hull point dealt out in total there. So there's 2 hull points remaining on him. Alright, so just discussing here, the other squadron mate there is plasma weaponry, strength 7, so armour 14, so not be able to penetrate here, the frontal armour of that battle wagon. So tough nut to crack here, but Jensen does have the demolisher cannon, so this is going to be very important here to see if we can break open the battle wagon here with this ordnance shot. Yeah, we're letting Jensen fire. He was positioning the blaster for the plasma weaponry at the back here, hoping to get some scatter shots coming through, but none of them have. Actually some really good hits coming through there, which is not what he wanted. So that's that shooting done. He hasn't fired the demolisher cannon yet, still thinking about what to do. There's a big threat here. Gutrippa with a personal grudge here, heading straight towards the centre of the Imperial line. He's not been brought out of his transport yet. Right, so other shooting here, another excellent round from the Manticore. Just a load of hits here, 3 warheads coming through, destroying the transport easily, and then decimating the Ork boys down here as well. So good shooting from the Imperial Ordnance right at the back of the table just there. But now Jensen's going to fire the demolisher cannon at Gutrippa's transport. See how well he does.
Okay. No, it's a hit. He's not going to fail me.
I roll to see if he hits. Oh, 10 inches. We're gonna have to check this out here.
7 inches.
We're saying it's not going to hit anything. Blown up some foliage, and that is it. So a panic there, a panic shot from the demolisher tank, seeing as the last chance perhaps to destroy that transport. The shot has missed, would you believe? So is there anything else that can harm? Oh, the basilisk, yes. Right, so the rest of the shooting here, Basilisk decided to fire down here, killing a number of Ork boys. Then these guys are shot at by the regular guardsmen, just along there. Yeah. Then guardsmen down here, 6 shots coming through, actually taking out 2 of the Ork boys. So morale tests we had to do here. Bikers had to do morale, boys here, and then the tank busters there, all passing morale, failing here but breaking heads the Nob, bashing in 2 of the tank busters for them to hold their ground. There's just 1 tank buster and the Nob remaining just there. So Orks have been thinned down, but their morale's still holding, so the threat of them has not been eliminated entirely. And most importantly for the Orks, Gutrippa's transport is still alive by a miracle, so we will get to see him charge. I don't think he's going to stay in that transport for much longer. There's no more assaults to come, there's no charges, so that is the end of turn 2. Chance here for the Orks to try their best and claw back this game. It is slipping from their grasp at this early stage in the game, but the Orks will press ahead. As long as Gutrippa is alive, there is still hope for the Orks. We'll go on to their second turn next. Alright, so moving for the Orks here on turn 2. We've got a plan, we'll see if it works. The Gorkonaut just shifting on top of the objective just there, getting ready to lay down some covering fire. Moves 6 inches with the battle wagon, then disembarks. We have called a while this turn. It won't affect this unit here, but it will affect other Ork units. But disembarking 6 inches, looking set to try and make a multi-charge here with Gutrippa and his unit. He's stayed with the Mega Nobs and can try and keep him protected with them. And then coming across the bikers, moving through, one of them needing to pass dangerous terrain, is just there on top of that objective, looking set to try and take out the Basilisk just there. And then 4 inches moved with the Ork boys, moving out of terrain, and then the tank busters moving up 6 inches as well. They'll be able to run and charge. if they wish. So that is movement done. Orks have been significantly reduced, but still a fighting chance for them. We're going to go on to Psychic Phase next for the Orks on turn 2. Right, so Psychic Phase is done for the Orks. Frazzle fired here, bringing down 3 of the Guardsmen. And then Warpath went off successfully, but Jensen blocked that. So that's Psychic Phase done. On to Shooting Phase for the Orks. There is some shooting for them to do. Really, it's going to be the Gorkanaut firing across here, trying to soften up some of the Imperial targets. So we'll go on to Shooting Phase next for the Orks on turn 2. Alright, so Shooting Phase for the Orks here. Some significant run moves. The last 2 of the tank busters there run 4 inches, 6 inches with this Ork Boys unit looking ready to take on this conscript unit. See if they can survive. Didn't go too well when we charged over here. No shooting here from the bikers. Can't do any damage against the Basilisk, which seems to have lowered its gun at them. Then across here, no shooting here from Gutrippa and his squad, but bringing down, I think it was 6 guardsmen brought down there. They're fearless, they're not going to run, but that was damage coming through from the Gorkanaut. So that is Shooting Phase finished. Charges will be significant here. A pivotal point in the game as 2 key Ork units look set to charge their targets. We'll go on to assaults next. Right, so charges here for the Orks. This is tight, this game here. There's an opportunity here for the Orks to try and readdress the balance, but it's going to take a string of events to go their way. But so far, so good. The Ork Boys charged in here with the Weirdboy. I think it was an 11-inch charge of them. No damage from Overwatch, and they've drawn the conscripts away from screening the tank. And then Sneaky Orks here, the tank busters, the 2 remaining, have made into contact with the Leman Russ just there. Coming across, a multi-charge has taken place. The Maganobs have charged in. They've hit the Demolisher Leman Russ just here, and then Gutrippa and 2 of the others have hit Pask's squadron just there, just trying to take out the heavier weaponry there of the Imperial Guard. And then all this taking place behind the guardsmen here who'd advanced, Orks sneaking up behind them. So pretty good. One other charge actually through the scrub here. The bikers have made into contact against the Basilisk. So all of the Ork charges going off here according to plan. We'll see how they fare in close combat. So we'll go on to combats next for the Orks on turn 2. Right, so combats here. We'll start with this one here. Difficult one, but a chance here for the Orks. So we're going to place a melter bomb. We'll try to roll up here. The regular tank buster is going to try and place it on a 2. He fails. So melter bomb dropped. So we'll let the Nob try and make his attacks here. Now he is strength 4 as standard, strength 5 on the charge. So there is a chance. Is it rare armor 10 or 11?
10.
Rare armor 10, so there is a chance. 4 attacks here then. Freeze to hit. 2 hits. And then we need a single 5 or a 6 on 2 dice, and that will do it. Yes. 6 we get. It is a penetrating hit. It's just going to cause a glance, so it won't explode. So perhaps that's the reason why the melter bomb was tucked away there. Didn't want to cause an explosion, and instead of just wreck to the vehicle there, the Nob has finished off that tank just there. A bit of revenge there for that tank buster unit. They have been hammered hard in this game. Alright, so far so good for the Orks. Just about. That could have easily been a failure there. So we'll go on to this combat here. Fanatical conscripts being led by their priest are going to fight against the Weirdboy and his boy squad. Right, it's just working on combats here. Stick bombs here. The Weirdboy is initiative 3 and so is the Nob, so they'll get to fight here. We do have a challenge taking place. The Nob is taking on the priest there. So let Jensen go first. Priest is going to fight here against the Nob. 3 attacks. Wear weapon skill 4. So 1 hit coming through, toughness 4, and strength 3. So 5 or 6 for wound. No, okay, so 4 attacks fighting back here with the Nob. Freeze for hits, they all hit. Then 2 for wounds here at strength 7. 2 wounds coming through. Jensen does have an invuln save here of 4+. So 2 of those roll up, double 6, and a fist pump there, held there in the challenge. That is some result there from the priest. Good going from him. So Weirdboy will get to fight next, along with the conscripts, their initiative 3 as well. Yeah, so Jensen's rolling up here. We'll need 5s. We're weapon skill 4, he's weapon skill 2 with the conscript unit. So, but not bad at all. And he will get the reroll here for Zealot with the priest who's miraculously survived. Yeah, not bad. Another hit coming through there. Then it'll be 5s to wound. Failed on the battle hymns roll this time, so no rerolls for this one coming through. does get 3. Okay, so 3 saves of 4+. We failed 2, so 2 Ork boys brought down. Okay, so then Weirdboy fighting back, 3s to hit. 2s for kills here, AP 4. Yeah, it's strength 7, so 2 conscripts brought down. And then 1 Ork boy has made it in, 4 attacks for him. 3s for hits, not bad. And then 3s for wounds at strength 4. Yeah, triple save required here, 5+. There with the slugger and chopper. So, yeah, reroll. 5's a pass. Okay, so just 1 more conscript brought down. So we win that round just there, but Jensen's fearless, so that melee will continue. So that's that combat done. Next one is just over here. The bikers charging against the basilisk. We'll roll that one up. So do the knob first of all. The power claws is Zog fighting. Needing 3s for hits. Oh, just the 1. That's not good. So strength 9 here. 1's a glance. 3 is a penetrating hit. Jensen's open top, so on +2. Becomes a 6, so it mobilised and a hull point. Did want better than that, but we'll keep going here. Right, so slugger and choppers here with the bikers needing 3s for hits, so a good spread of hits, and then 6s for hull points. 6s for hull points. There's 1, so not quite enough. Basilisk has survived, but 2 hull points down and immobilised. All right, so that's that combat resolved. Surviving there with the basilisk. We'll go on to this one here, the nasty one. Right, so this combat here then is a little bit complicated. We're going to resolve the fight against the squadron here. So Gutrippa, Killsword Kyle, and another Mega Nob are all piling in. So we'll roll up Gutrippa first of all. So his dice doesn't get the extra points or extra attack for charging. So just a straight roll up with 4 attacks, needing 3s, 2 misses. But trusty Squig comes to his aid and gets another hit. Alright, so not bad from Gutrippa there. He is strength 10 on the charge, being a Warboss, strength 5 basics, so we'll roll up our results. We're AP 2, so it's just going to reduce Pask down. There's no explodes there. Okay, so far so good. It is a squadron, so the attacks will continue onto the plasma tank at the back there. So Killsword Kyle next. 3s to hit with him. He's got 4 hits. Now, he's strength 9, Armour Bane, so he should go through no problem. Yeah, they've all gone through. We'll roll up a reroll here. So that 5's going to add that onto the 1. That makes a penetrating hit. So 4 penetrating hits coming through. Just going to roll to see if we cause any explosions. Yes, we do. So a detonation here of the Eradicator, Executioner. Which one's that one called? Executioner. Okay, so that one has exploded. We'll roll up. The distance is 2 inches. Right, so that's that one resolved there. Explodes result and no damage coming through on the Mega Nobs. Just there, it was 2 inches explosion range. We'll go on to the 2 regular Mega Nobs fighting against the Demolisher tank. All right, so we don't get the bonus for charging, so 2 Nobs charging in 6 attacks would have been 8. 3s for hits with these. We do get 4 hits. And then strength 9 on the charge. 10, 11, it is enough. 3 penetrating hits. So it is armor 11 at the back. 3 penetrating hits, 6s to see if it blows up. AP2 becomes a 6. No. Needed 7 to blow it up, so it hasn't. So that's a wreck just there. So the Orks can breathe a sigh of relief. That is mission accomplished just there. They have done damage to the centre of the Imperial Guard line. Right, so that's that combat resolved. That has given the Orks a foothold in this game. It's not over yet. It was running away from them so quickly, but thanks to Gutrippa leading the Mega Nobs, he struck at the heart of this Imperial Guard force. What'll be interesting now, how the Imperial Guard will respond. Orks have been hammered hard. There's heaps of casualties just off table here, burnt and wrecked vehicles all across the table, but still the Orks fight on. We'll see how the Imperial Guard respond on their turn 3 coming up next. Right, so Jensen on the move here. Just gonna. It's been tense this part of the game here. It was where the horns have been locked and tussles going on. A lot of thinking going on here and trying to meditate on what to do. Both sides really, Orks trying to figure out the best possible approach, and then now Jensen deep in thought here as he tries to remedy the situation. So commercial break. Just going to talk about the palm trees here. They're available as a terrain tutorial on the channel, so you can check that out if you like the look of those. You can check out that video, follow along step by step, and see how to make those. I do set off the terrain quite nicely here on this lush landscape. And then also just to mention the burning vehicle markers as well. There's a tutorial for that on the channel that you can check out as well. But that's commercial break is finished. We'll let the Imperial Guard begin their movement. All right, so turn 3 here for the Imperial Guard. Backing off here with the Eradicator tank just there. This squad holding position or just moving into the centre of the crater just there. This Chimera backing off and lining up. It's got a heavy flamer there. 2 heavy flamers? Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting ready to fire through.
3 melter guns.
And 3 melter guns. Could be, well, that could be a lot of trouble actually. There for the Mega Nobs. Wyvern holding position here. Disembarking with the command squad. Basilisk immobilised, so has to sit there, but will be allowed to shoot. And then ongoing combat here with the conscripts, and then sneaking around here, manoeuvring around here with the Manticore, heavy flamer on the front, ready to fire at the last 2 tank busters just there. So Imperial Guard still going to be able to respond here, I think. We'll go on to their psychic phase next on turn 3. Alright, so psychic phase finished here. Astropath casting Psychic Shriek, but we blocked that one. But then Dominate has gone off, cast on the bikers just there. So that's psychic phase done. On to shooting phase next for the Imperial Guard on turn 3. Alright, so shooting phase here. It's been tense here from the Imperial Guard as they've fired everything they can at the Mega Nobs here. You can still see them surviving there. So that was Wyvern firing through. 2 flamers here from that Chimera. That one just there. This squad about faced and fired rapid fire into them as well. A couple of crack grenade shots from the squad just in the crater. The Eradicator firing also. And then 2 melter guns firing through from the hatch as well. Took out one of the Mega Nobs. The rest have been wounded. Just shots coming in from different angles has meant that those wounds have been spread around just with closest model raw. So a fair amount of them have survived. No morale check for them. It's models lost, not wounds taken. So no morale needed for them. Then Basilisk was able to fire down here, causing another hull point on the Ork truck, and then hit him, one of the Ork boys, but he escaped. Jensen rolled a 1 to wound. Melee continues here. Heavy flamer took out the tank busters, so they're gone. And then significantly around here, heavy flamer, 2 heavy flamers inside here, heavy flamer here, and then the rest of the squad firing through have taken out Zog and his unit, which is a shame for the Orks, but that's one of the big threats eliminated. So there's no Orks present in this area here. So we'll go on to combats, which there is just this ongoing combat just here. Alright, so this combat resolved here. The Orks have won that combat. The challenge ongoing there between the Nob and the Priest, but no damage done on either side. Killing a number of the conscripts, but fearless again, so that melee will continue on. That marks the end of the 3rd turn for the Imperial Guard. They've responded pretty well. They dealt with Zog. His unit's gone. That was a big threat there. But still, Gutrippa is in the heart of the Imperial Guard battle line here. We'll see what he decides to do as we go on to Ork turn 3 coming up next. Alright, so moving for the Orks here. Ork boys just shifting to the left a little bit, but still hiding behind the cover. Gorkonauts moved down, rolled a 6 there through the terrain, and has swung around, moving through the jungle here after this guard unit just on the objective. 3 inches pushed through cover there with Gutrippa and the Mega Nobs. He stayed with them again, turning and ramming here at strength 8, but we rolled a 1, so no damage on the Chimera just ahead. Ongoing melee just there. So we'll go on to psychic phase next for the Orks. We will bypass that, not going to use any powers this turn. So on to shooting for the Orks next on their turn 3. Right, so shooting phase done here. Gorkonaut offloading all of its firepower here, reducing this squad down. Priest has survived, passing loads of lookout sirs, and then 1 sergeant, but the rest have gone. They will hold ground. They're fearless there with the Priest. And that is about it. We snap fired here with the battle wagon. No hits there against the side of the Chimera that we tried to ram. So shooting phase finished. On to assaults here. Gutrippa and his squad prepared to charge once again. Right, assault's gone ahead there. Multi-charged again. The Wyvern and then the Chimera just there has been contacted. We'll get these combats resolved next. Right, so combat's resolved here. Smashing through again here with Gutrippa and his Mega Nobs. Chimera destroyed here. 2 melters killed as well in the blast. That was an explodes result. And then explodes result here as well. The Wyvern was destroyed. No damage on anyone with the explosion that came from that. Then combat over here. The Priest was killed in the challenge. And then we won there. We lost one of the Ork boys, but won the combat. But the conscripts have escaped and ran back 10 inches there, and we've consolidated 6 inches in that direction. So combat's resolved. Still, the game is on now. Either side, we reckon, stands a chance of winning, but it's handing over to the Imperial Guard now. It's their chance to fight back as they wrestle here with the Orks. So turn 4 coming up for them next. Yeah, it's just discussing the game here. It has similarities to the previous game, but sort of the roles have been swung round. It was the Orks that had the first turn last time and had the initial damage, and then the Imperial Guard fought back. And then here in this game, it's the opposite. The Imperial Guard have gone first, dealt out the initial damage, and then the Orks have tried to claw their way back. Will they be able to fight back enough to secure victory? I have to see. It's very hard to call at this stage. The game has turned from predictable and has become anyone's game, we think. So still a rampaging Gorkanaut here to try and deal with. Gutrippa and his squad has taken damage, but there's still a presence of them. And then this battle wagon as well. Tough enough targets here for the Guard to take out, but Jensen has a plan, no doubt. The Guard are not beaten yet, we'll see. We'll go on to their movement phase next. If they keep knocking the Orks down, then they may be able to win this war of attrition. We'll have to see, but this is a great fun game, a nice backdrop. Both armies look really nice on this terrain here as we see this epic fight take place. A real tense game, this one. Both sides with standing a lot to lose here. Jensen seeks revenge against the Orks, and then the Orks here trying to move up the table on the channel, and they have a chance here. If they secure victory, then we'll put them in the higher levels, but if they lose here, they may just revert back to a standard army. We'll have to see. We'll go on to the Imperial Guard turn 4 movement. Right, so moving here on turn 4 for the Imperial Guard, backing off here with the Eradicator tank. Just it has the range, so it can afford to pull back just there. This squad moving out of the crater there and heading off in this direction. The command squad just there, backing off, leaving the objective just there. I can see why. Just with the Gorkanaut moving through, the priest and the sergeant moving off in this direction. Chimera's turned around, heavy flamers getting ready to fire into Gutrippa's squad just there. Command team heading off in this direction have secured probably just within 3 inches of the objective, just tucked underneath, just in there. And then the tech priest has left the unit and getting ready to repair the basilisk, which would be a good move. And then the manticore here just in position to fire through with the heavy flamer against the Orks, what's left of that Ork squad, and the Weirdboy. So movement done. A fair amount of models and vehicles destroyed on both sides. Both sides have taken a hammering in this game, and it's now down to these small fights that will bring victory or defeat for either army. We'll have to see. Psychic phase next for the Imperial Guard in turn 4. Right, so Psychic phase here, pretty good for the Imperial Guard. Astropath firing Psychic Shriek across the table has destroyed the Weirdboy and the Nob just there. Jensen did peril and rolled a 2, so wound has been taken, and he's also lost Dominate Psychic Power. But mission success there, killing about 100 points worth of models in that Psychic phase. Pretty good. We'll go on to Shooting phase next for the Imperial Guard on turn 4. Right, so Shooting phase here, Basilisk firing through, did get another hit and has wrecked the truck just there. Did scatter, so didn't clip any of the Ork boys just there. Then pretty much everything else fired at Gutrippa and his squad. This unit here, squad firing through here, Melter, Eradicator, Lehman Russ, 2 heavy flamers from the Chimera, and the Manticore getting a direct hit as well, and no damage at all. Not a scratch on that unit. Scary stuff there. The Orks weathering the storm pretty good. So that marks the end of Shooting phase. We are going to go on to assaults. Jensen may well assault here a number of units against Gutrippa and his squad. We'll see what happens. We'll go on to assault phase next for the Imperial Guard on turn 4. Right, so assaults here. Priest has charged in. Sergeant was with him, but took a big shoot around to the chest and has died. That was a shot from Gutrippa on Overwatch. But the priest has made it into combat, so we'll get that combat resolved. See if the priest can survive. I think Jensen just taking the opportunity. It may, if he survives, he could tie down the Orks. The odds are against him, but perhaps worth a try. We'll go on to combats now, see if we can get this one resolved. Okay, so combat's resolved there. Quite bizarre, really. The priest charging in there issued a challenge. The Mega Nob accepted and died. So he failed an armor save, yeah. But Gutrippa backed out. I'm glad we did, actually. Would have taken another wound just there. But we lost the leader for the Mega Nobs. But fighting back, Gutrippa finished him off. So consolidated just an inch. That marks the end of the 4th turn for the Imperial Guard. A bit of a twist there at the end of their turn, but still all to play for both sides. Chance now for the Orks. Their turn 4 coming up next. Alright, so movement phase for the Orks here on turn 4. Gorkanaut's shifted 4 inches out. He's now appeared at this side of the board. And then across here, Gutrippa stayed with the Mega Nobs and are shifting off in this direction. And then trucks remain stationary as well. And actually not much at all really for the Orks, but some significant units left for them. The units at the end for them are pretty powerful. And then across here, making a dash with the Ork boys across, heading off towards the objective just over there. So no psychic phase, the Weirdboy's dead. We're going to shooting phase next for the Orks on turn 4. Okay, shooting phase for the Orks here. Gorkanaut firing through and mopping up the last of the multi-melter squad that was down here. And then fired our rocket system here. 4 rockets firing down, has taken out the tech priest just there. Not bad from the Orks. We're going to assaults now. Gutrippa and his squad will charge here. Okay, so assaults here. Another multi-charge from this Ork unit. I've made contact here with the Chimera, rolling 11 for charge distance. We have skimmed around here and made contact with the command squad just there. I mean, this Ork unit's been on fire in this game. They've pushed through here, and then now they're swinging around in this direction. It's been quite a sight to behold. But we'll go on to combat. So we'll see what happens. It's an interesting situation. So they're all sitting on a wound here, so damage could come through. We'll go on to combat, so we'll get this one resolved, see what damage comes through. Alright, so combat's resolved here. Chimera destroyed, and then the command squad wiped out as well. And then we've consolidated 6 inches of Gutrippa, and the last Mega Nob Killsaw Carl did die, so he is gone. But the only one left alive was Yastrapov. He busted morale, needing a double 1 to hold, and then has run off table. So significant result there for the Orks. Continuing on with Gutrippa and what's left of his squad. Not much to them now, but really they have done their job in this game. We're going to go on to the 5th turn now for the Imperial Guard. We'll see what Jensen can do. Squad's still here. That's intact, that tank there, and the Manticore with 1 rocket left. You couldn't script it any better. And then we've got the immobilised Basilisk as well. So on to Imperial Guard turn 5. Alright, so movement done. It's very quick. Just shifting across here and pivoting with the Eradicator. This squad moving through on the hunt for Gutrippa up here. And then Manticore holding positions. That's it. We're going to shooting phase. No psychic phase now for either side. Both psychers dead. So shooting phase next for the Guard on turn 5. Right, so shooting phase done. The last Manticore rocket coming down. Missed, scattered and clipped 1. Did kill one of the Ork boys just here. Basilisk just about in angle. Did get a... No, it scattered wildly actually over to here, so missed with that. So the Ork boys have survived here. At least 2 of them have. They have passed around a 6, so they're okay. Then around here, Eradicator firing through. Did cause wounds here and failed. Rolled a 1, so the last Mega Nob is gone. Gutrippa took a wound, but rolled a feel no pain and passed that. This squad firing through got 2 hits. 2 Mega Armor saves made whilst he was alive. So that's the end of the turn. There's no charges here at all, no assaults. So we'll go on to Ork turn 5. Significant turn. The game could end at the end of this turn. We'll see what happens. We'll go on to Ork turn 5 next. Right, smooth phase for the Orks here. Rolled up 6 here with the Gorkanaut. He's pushed through, heading off in this direction. The battle wagon's moved and then pivoted. He's sitting on the objective just there. And then Gutrippa's moved onto the objective down here. Just hoping that the game may end. There is a chance it may end at the end of turn 5. We'll go on to shooting phase next for the Orks on turn 5. Right, so shooting phase here for the Orks. Gorkanaut firing down. Squad here went to ground. Camo Cloak's helping them out a bit, but it wasn't enough. They've been wiped out. Then snapshots here with the rockets firing through. No hits against the Lehman Russ just there. Then firing across here. Gutrippa still had his combi rocket launcher, which he fired. Got a hit on a 6. Rolled a 6 to penetrate. Jensen failing a cover save, and then a result of a 3, just to add insult to injury at the end there. And then the Ork boys, they ran 4 inches they have secured the objective just there. So we are going to end it there at turn 5. We're just discussing the game. There doesn't seem much point in carrying on. For the guard here, 1 Lehman Russ intact, no damage on that one at all. And then the man's call, but it's out of ammunition now, and it's on snap fire only. So we reckon the guard wouldn't be able to claw back the objectives here, which the Orks are sitting on with 3 of their units, and there's a rampaging Gorkanaut still almost at full strength on the table as well. So we'll calculate victory points now here at the end. It's been a tough fight here, a real hard grind with these two armies fighting each other, but it looks like the Orks have emerged victorious just about. Yeah, saying just about as in it could have so easily gone the other way. Impressive start from the Imperial Guard, hammering the Ork light transports, damage coming through, but really it was the lone charge of Gutrippa coming through here that gave the Orks hope and led ultimately to their victory here. But we'll get an exact score for victory points. Right, so final score here, the Imperial Guard, they did get first blood, so a point to them. And then holding this objective here, the truck holds this one, or the battle wagon, and then Gutrippa holds the objective just down there and is securing Linebreaker as well. So that is 9 points for objectives, Linebreaker's 10, and then Slay the Warlord with Kill Pask. So 11 points to 1, the final score. Doesn't really reflect the damage that's been inflicted on both sides here. And if the Imperial Guard had wrestled the game back and they had spare units, they could so easily have captured the objectives and got a high score as well. But the Orks had enough power at the end to see the game through, and they've secured the objectives here and denied the field to the Imperial Guard. Yeah, so just discussing the game here, it looks set for humiliation for the Orks. They took damage. You can see the original burning vehicles here. Still, one of the looted wagons parked up where it started at the beginning of the game, immobilised and stuck there at the just at the Ork deployment zone. This one here destroyed, this one here destroyed. Trucks decimated here and here, so it looked so bad for the Orks at the start. But it was Gutrippa's move here that swung round in this direction. His vehicle wasn't destroyed, and then a deadly attack there, and then surviving, and then attacking again, really ripping the heart out of the Imperial Guard force right there in the middle. Gorkanaut doing well in support as well, moving up slowly, did contribute to the victory at the end. But great game. Thanks for Jensen to coming down. Beautiful Imperial Guard army. Nice to see a different list being used here against the Orks. But the Orks have brought about victory again, and Jensen has been added to the list of players that hate Gutrippa's guts. So we'll ask Jensen, give your hatred for Gutrippa a mark out of 10. 10 is extreme, 1's friendly. 15. Okay, I thought it would be over 10. So, great game. We've enjoyed it very much indeed, and it's always a classic to see Imperial Guard and Orks do battle. But great game. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Right, so units of the game here, very, very quick for both of us making our decisions. So Manticore of the Imperial Guard, have to agree, very, very impressive shooting from that, just covering the whole table really with firepower, and some very accurate shooting, deadly firepower from that. And then for the Orks, Gutrippa and his unit caused mayhem in the heart of the Imperial Guard deployment zone. So that's units of the game for both sides.